Guys, before we jump into the video, I just want to quickly let you know that if you subscribe and leave a comment down below letting me know you have subscribed, I'm going to send all of my personal bets for this weekend's card straight to you guys. That way we can make some money together, help grow my channel. I really appreciate the support, guys. And without further ado, let's get into it. Welcome everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be breaking down the main card of UFC Paris, going over some betting tips, doing all of my official predictions for the card. This is going to be a really interesting event. I think, like I spoke about in my breakdown earlier in the week, the energy that the crowd is going to bring to this event with how many local fighters we have on the card, I think it's going to be super special. In the first fight of the main card, we have Fares ZM taking on Matt, the Steamroller Frivola in the lightweight division. This is a really intriguing matchup and a really intriguing clash of styles. Fares ZM is the local French boy, 15-4, 27-year-old prospect, and he's got a really interesting kickboxing style. He likes to keep things on the outside. He's really long and rangy for the division, and he has a really nice ability to implement the fight, like I said, at his range. Has really long range, good long range tools, great kickboxing, good with his feet, good leg kicks, and he's also pretty good in the clinch as well. He has the ability to keep the fight where he wants it, and he's shown in the past that he can struggle a little bit when he's the nail. But he's on a little bit of a good win streak. I think 3 wins in a row now. And on the other side, Matt Frivola coming off a pretty brutal head kick loss to the guy in the main event, God of War, Benoit Denis. Now, that fight was 10 months ago, so he's had time to recover. But nonetheless, it was a devastating knockout. He was surging before that, 3 wins against some real good competition, and got a ranking in the end. This fight is a little bit of a build-back fight for him. He's stepping down a little bit further in the rankings. For us, ZM, I think the more I think about how the fight's going to look, as much of Frivola has good grappling as well, I think Fares ZM is going to have the ability on the feet to pick him apart with the range, to keep him on the end of the leg kicks, to keep him on the end of the jabs and the punches. Although Frivola has really good power, and has the ability to knock out ZM with one punch, Frivola sort of needs someone to stand there and trade with him for him to show that power. He's been able to implement that before, Drew Dober being one of his most notable knockouts. But Drew Dober is a guy who's going to stand there and go punch for punch with you. I don't think ZM's necessarily that sort of guy. I can see ZM with his style giving Frivola a real hard look on the feet, frustrating him, making Frivola want to take it down to the ground, and I think he's going to struggle to do that. So my official prediction for the opening fight on the main card is Fares ZM, and I think he's going to do it by decision. Moving on, we have Morgan Charrier, the Pirate, versus Gabriel Miranda. Now, this is an interesting fight because I think Charrier, he's had a bit of a hard luck in the UFC. The guy has lots of experience, 19-10. Fought. The guy has a lot of experience, 19-10, and I think he's fought a lot of good competition on the regional scene in Cage Warriors outside of the UFC. He came into the UFC, had a really nice debut via body kick finish. That was a really nice performance. In his last fight against Chepe Mariscal, I thought he was unlucky not to get the decision. It was a split decision. It went the other way. So yeah, like I said, I think he's been a little bit unlucky not to be on a 2-fight win streak in the UFC. He's coming into this fight, I think, with a lot of momentum. Gabriel Miranda, also, he's just coming off his first fight in the UFC. His first win in the UFC. He was finished in his first fight against. He was finished in his first fight in the UFC against Benoit Denis via strikes. When I look into this fight, I think Morgan Charrier is just going to be too much for him wherever the fight goes. Although Miranda has showed improvements since his first fight in the UFC, I think Charrier has him covered in all aspects. I think he's going to have the ability to keep it on the feet and keep it away from Miranda's skill sets. I think Charrier is going to potentially get a knockout here, a TKO. If not, I think he's going to win a decision and pretty comfortably win all 3 rounds. So my official pick is Morgan Charrier. Now, the next fight on the card is one I'm actually really, really looking forward to. Kevin Doucet versus Brian Battle. These two guys are another 2 young prospects. Kevin Doucet came up on the Australian regional scene, so I'm very familiar watching him. Like I said, he's a very, very good grappler. The guy trains out of a great gym with City Kickboxing. Everyone at that gym has spoken so highly about his evolution, and you've seen it. The guy's been an absolute hammer in the UFC. The odds on this fight are quite close, which is interesting to me because I think Brian Battle, although he is a promising prospect himself, he has shown some holes in the grappling. And I think Doucet is going to expose those holes again in this fight. I think he has the ability to control the fight on the ground, get the takedowns, and even if he's not able to continue to get takedowns and secure control, I think he's going to be able to control him in the clinch. So I'm going to take Kevin Doucet via decision in this fight. In the next fight, we have William Gomis taking on Joanderson Brito. This is a really intriguing style clash as well. We have 2 young guys coming up, both with a lot of momentum. It's been a long time since either of these guys lost. Joanderson Brito is a bit of an outlier at featherweight because the guy is so physical. You can see in his takedowns, in his submissions, and obviously in his striking. The guy, he's an absolute brute at this division. On the other side, William Gomis, he's a bit more slippery. He's a bit more technical. Really nice kicks, nice striking. When I see the fight playing out, I think Joanderson Brito is just going to be a little bit too much for him. I can see Gomis having some success on the feet for a round maybe. I can see him maybe frustrating Brito a little bit, but I think once Brito gets his hands on him, he's going to be too strong, too technical, and I think he's going to be able to find the submission. So my official pick is Joanderson Brito by submission. What a co-main event. Nassourdine Imavov taking on Brendan Allen, 2 up-and-coming surging middleweights. Like I said in the breakdown earlier in the week on the channel, Nassourdine Imavov coming off, the best win of his career, finishing Cannonier via strikes. I think, though, in this fight, he's going to have a real tough matchup. Stylistically, Brendan Allen has some of the best grappling, control, ability to find the back and the rear naked choke in this whole division. Nassourdine Imavov has shown to be controlled, especially up against the fence for long periods of time, and that doesn't look good on the judges' scorecards. I think over 15 minutes, Brendan Allen is going to have the ability to control Nassourdine Imavov, not even if he's able to get the takedowns necessarily, but I think he's going to be able to mix up all the elements of the game, striking, wrestling, to win rounds. I think that's what it's going to come down to. I think Imavov is definitely more dangerous on the feet, and if there was 25 minutes for him to work, I think he has a better opportunity. But I just think that in the past, we've seen him, sort of been wet blanketed a little bit. And I think Brendan Allen has the perfect style to do this. I could be wrong. Imavov could come out and show just a completely different pacing aspect to his game, which would be really interesting. My official prediction is going to be Brendan Allen, and I think by decision. Like I said, I think he's going to have the ability to win the rounds, win the minutes, and take it out on the judges' scorecards. I would not be surprised if Imavov is able to find some clean shots, hurt Brendan Allen, but I just think Brendan Allen is experienced enough in the UFC specifically to fight through some tough moments and come out on top. So I think he's going to do that in this matchup as well. Moving on to the main event of the evening, we have Renato Moicano taking on Benoit Denis. This is a great main event in an absolute killer's row of a division. I think Benoit Denis, he fights like such a brute, such a powerhouse. He fights, with really bad intent. The guy comes forward behind really heavy rear roundhouse kicks. He's putting his striking together as well. He's putting his striking together a bit better as well now. But the main attraction to this guy's game is his grappling, his control, and the pace he's able to set on these guys. From the get-go, he's on you. And as you can see with most of his fights, he's able to make these guys break and find a finish. On the other side, Renato Moicano, he has a real ability to be the nail, keep swimming to the next position, fighting his way through tough things, and then coming out the other side and then starting to work his game. That's what really interests me about this fight, because I think for the first 5-10 minutes, Benoit Denis is going to be all over Moicano. I think he's going to be, hitting him on the feet. I think Moicano is really hittable on the feet, which worries me because Denis has a lot of power. I think for the first 5 to 10 minutes, Denis is going to be all over him. Moicano, like I said, has the ability to turn that around, and that's where the big question is Denis' gas tank up to the 25 minutes? He may not even need the 25 minutes, with the fury and the pace this guy puts on people. I could even see him getting the finish in those first 10 minutes. Renato Moicano has some really, really slick jiu-jitsu, good grappling, good top control. I don't really see him spending a lot of time there in this fight unless, like I said, Benoit Denis starts to gas and starts to make mistakes. Moicano has good range on the feet, but he's very hittable, like I said. And he does stand there and take one to give one sometimes. Going into my official prediction, I can see this going either way. There's a few questions for me going in, but I'm going to side with Benoit Denis coming off the first loss in this division. I'm sure he's going to be really hungry, and I can actually see him getting a finish here early. My official prediction is Benoit Denis, and I think he's going to do it via TKO. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I really hope everyone makes some money this week, hey? Hope you tail along with some of my picks. Let me know how you go. Big event, UFC Paris. There's going to be huge energy. I'm sure the fights are going to be great. And I think there's some really, really good takes here on the card. So, like I said, I hope everyone makes some money. Thank you. I'll look forward to talking again soon.